got a bunch of stuff that has to be done on the Evo 8. Actually, both cars, actually all 3 cars, because I got a daily. But today, we're just gonna be focusing on finally getting the transmission into the car. I got a late start. Not sure if I'm gonna finish that this evening. If I don't, I'll pick it up tomorrow and then we'll finish it from there. But welcome back to the channel. For those that didn't catch the last video, both cars are actually down. So the Evo 8 and the Evo 10. If you want to update on what's going on with both of them, go ahead and watch the last video. But here we are. We got the clean, fully built transmission. It's got carbon synchros in it. These are all the old parts. These are all the old parts that were removed from the transmission. So it's good to go. But the car has been prepped. The transmission is pretty much ready to go in the car. I went ahead and bolted the clutch up, the pressure plate, and the disc up to the flywheel. Didn't have to get it resurfaced because I already had it done prior to pulling it off this last time. I put it on, had it on for all of about 10 minutes, and then the car came back apart. So, but yeah, I'm not really looking forward to installing this, but I'm actually looking forward to being able to drive the car. It's been like 2 years. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this mounted up in there. I spent about 10 minutes actually working before I got distracted by social media, but luckily the friends came over, helped me get back on track, and the transmission is basically attached to the engine. So it's not bolted up yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. But as you can see, it's up there against the block. So we're gonna go ahead, or I'm gonna go ahead and finish it up and get this car on the ground finally. After fighting with the transfer case way longer than I should have had to, the transmission is actually all bolted up. Even got the starter in down there. The shift linkage is in or connected as well, but I don't have the cotter pins in there to secure them. But I should be able to make sure that it goes in through all the gears finally, because that was the issue before. So let's actually go ahead and hop in here and actually make sure that it goes through all the gears. All right, so we got first and second were the ones that we were having issues with before. So first is good, goes into second, third, fourth, fifth, and reverse, because this is a 5-speed, not a 6-speed, and it looks like it's good to go. So that is a huge relief. I still have to put the axles in, so I actually went ahead and got some new axles from Rock Auto. Don't judge me, I don't know if these are gonna be solid or not. I'm gonna go ahead and actually open these up really quick, and hopefully those axles are decent or okay to use. I decided to go ahead and pick those up because I have some axles, stock axles that were in the car, but one of the boots is actually like ripped or repaired at some point, and I'd rather just use or attempt to use some different axles as long as they are good to go. lengthwise, everything seems to line up, everything seems to match up, so these should be good to go. Now hopefully these hold up for the power that I'm trying to make, or that I plan on making with the current setup, which isn't going to be too much. I don't expect to make too much, given that I'm on a single fuel pump, and it's just, I believe it's 12, or is it 1220 cc injectors, I think it is, so, and an FP red. I don't think I'll be making a whole bunch of power, but hopefully these hold up. If you have experience with Rock Auto axles, let me know in the comments, so that way I know what to expect. But I'm hoping that these do well. If not, I'm not throwing these OEM axles away. I'm gonna keep them as spares, and I'll just throw those back on. But I actually have to make a run, so I'm actually gonna be finished for the day, and I'll pick this video up tomorrow morning. All right, it's time to pick up where we left off with the Evo 8. So we got to put the axles in, put fluids in, finish up whatever under car stuff needs to be finished up, so that way I can actually put it on the ground. But I forgot, I never showed you guys the daily that I picked up, which is a Jeep. So I strongly considered getting like a Mustang or Corvette, because I really like those, but I decided to just stick with the Jeep. It's a little more tame, a little more dailyable, I guess you can say, than a V8 car that I would probably heavily modify. But I'm pretty sure I'm gonna modify this. I don't know about heavily modify it, but it's definitely gonna get some different parts. It looks like it's already been lifted. Definitely gonna replace those like stock halogen headlights with some like LED ones or HID. I don't know, but those are gonna get swapped out. Gonna swap out the taillights. It needs a radio badly, because you know I like my music, so I gotta have something better than the stock radio that's in there. It's the 4-door, as you can see. It's the 4-door because, you know, got kids, got a family. So far I love the Jeep. It's cool. I've always wanted one, but it was never something that was high on the list of priorities for me to get, and I think I'm gonna like it even more once I start changing stuff on it. But back to the Evo. So the transmission's all in. Got to put the axles in. Those brakes need to be changed badly, and they will be. I got brakes for it. I'm not going to do it right away, but the brakes are going to be changed. I wanted to get these powder coated, but I don't want to pay powder coat pricing right now, because it's going to be like $600 plus probably to have them all powder coated. I mean, I could probably spend that on something else. So probably going to rattle can them just like I did on the Evo 10. Do I want to? Not really, but I want them to look better than how they look right now. They look pretty rough. So gonna do that. Gotta clean up the interior. There's a lot of stuff that has to be done on the car, but we're getting close to being able to actually put it on the ground and move it. So let's get to work. Both axles are in. So now it's time for my least favorite part, which is putting fluid in both the transmission and transfer case. I say that because I'm always scared, because the last couple times actually on the Evo, actually on this car and on the Evo 10, when I put fluid in the transmission, it started to leak out because I needed to replace the transmission seal, or the axle seal. So the axle seal on this is actually new, so hopefully I don't have any issues with it. But I do need to jack it up from the rear, so that way it's nice and level, so that way it gets the correct amount of fluid when I go ahead and add it in. 2 years, the Evo 8 is finally back on the ground. So I got transmission fluid in it. Transmission takes about 3 quarts. The transfer case takes a little less than a quart. Thankfully, none of it leaked out, which is great because that's always like my biggest fear is that it's gonna leak back out. Ever since it happened that one time, it's like I have PTSD. So actually, before I go ahead and attempt to start it or attempt anything else, I'm going to actually go ahead and replace the spark plugs. And I picked up a coil and plug setup from my dude Thomas. So thank you, Thomas, if you're watching this. I really appreciate you. It came with 3 coils. One of them was bad, but I actually bought a set of like 4 coils. And they were actually not that bad, not expensive at all. So I'm going to actually just go ahead and probably replace all 4 of these coils. I also had to replace the battery as well. That battery was bad. I tried to get it charged, wouldn't hold a charge. So I went ahead and bought an Odyssey battery, an Odyssey small battery. I'll list the part number down below. That way, if you need one, you know where to get it. You know which group size or part number you need. So for the coil and plug setup, it actually uses like a Toyota ignition coil off of like, I think it's like the 1ZZ motor or something like that. So like I said, I got 4 replacement coils. This one I went ahead and already opened up. This one, there's the part number there if you guys want to go ahead and grab that. But I'll list it below as well. But yeah, 4 new coils. Gonna go ahead and swap these out along with the spark plugs as well. Let's go ahead and actually go ahead and put those in, and maybe we'll go ahead and attempt to start it. Don't judge me, but because I just want the car to run, I'm actually considering having my dude Elijah at Moon Performance at least figure out the whole starting issue, getting it to just run or idle on its own, start up, and then from there I'll pick it up from him and go through with the tuning process. I'm sure the majority of car people feel me when I say I just want to drive it. So let's go ahead and swap these out and then go from there.
Perfect.
So it's been a couple days, but the car is all back together. All the coil and plug setup. Aside from a couple of these T-bolt clamps that have to be tightened up, everything else should be good. I went ahead and threw the new battery on. At some point, the plan is to go ahead and convert it over to a full-size battery and relocate it to the trunk. What's up?
What's up? If you cut this part out, then I'm deleting your channel.
But anyway, okay, so the car is basically all back together, but I did find that I have a coolant leak randomly, so the water pump has to be replaced. I went ahead and actually ordered that. Water pump has to be replaced. I tried starting it up a few times, and it only starts with starting fluid. I tried to swap it back to the OEM ignition coil setup. Still the same issue. Won't run for more than like 2 seconds. With that being said, I've made the decision, the executive decision, to go ahead and let my dude Elijah at Moon Performance take a look at it. Basically, what I want him to do is to just get it stable, get it to where it'll start up, run on its own, and then I'll take it from there. I don't need him to take a deep dive into it. At this point, I just want it to run. But in the meantime, while he is working on that, getting that ready, because I'm gonna have it towed to his shop, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the motor on the Evo 10. That way I can kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. This one will be getting worked on. The motor on this will be coming out and put on the stand. So yeah, that's where I'm at as far as the cars go. The hard part's done, or at least I think it is, putting the transmission back in and getting the car all put back together. Now, I think what I want to do is I want to clean the car. Not only have I not driven it, I've never actually washed the car either. So before the tow truck comes, I'm going to go ahead and wheel this or push this out into the driveway. I'll have to move the wife's car out of the way, but I'm going to go ahead and push it into the driveway, wash it for the first time since I've had it. Actually wash it. Go ahead, I'll do that, throw it on the tow truck, have it sent to the shop, and hopefully I'll get some good news at some point that way. I can take the car back over. Maybe I'll drive it home from there. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, let's go ahead, clean the car up, and wait for the tow truck to come.
Perfect.
So aside from some of the imperfections that I already knew about, the car cleans up pretty nice after it's been washed. This is literally the first wash since I've owned the car, and it looks pretty good. So it needs the roof molding on the passenger side, which I got some new ones for both passenger and driver in there. The bumper, the front bumper, has a little bit of a crack in it, which I'm hoping that the front lip that I have will cover that up. Headlights need to be restored a bit, but overall the car is pretty clean, so I'm happy about that. It looks good, paint is good. There's no fade really, which is nice. The tint needs to be redone, which I'll have that done. But yeah, overall the car is pretty clean. The tow truck's on the way, should be here in the next few minutes, so I'm actually gonna clean this up a bit. And I'm probably gonna go ahead and meet the tow truck driver at Moon Performance, so that way I can talk to Elijah for a bit about the plans for the car. So the car is gone. It's at Moon Performance now. In the meantime, while that car is there, hold on, wait. Looks like the camera's a little dirty. Hold on, wait. Hopefully that's better. But while the car is there, I am gonna work on the Evo 10. For whatever reason, I can't get the motor to rotate, or I can't get it to rotate. So I'm gonna pull it out. The transmission's already out. The transmission's right there. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the motor out and put it on the stand and figure out what's going on with that. Also, I'm gonna probably do some mods to the Jeep. So while that is there, he said he can probably get to it in the next couple weeks. He's got a bunch of Evos there, so who knows. So if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you guys checking out the video. Evo 10 build 2.0 coming soon, because if I'm pulling it out, I might as well make it a little faster. But yeah, thanks for checking out the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.